What up, Digital Slang Z Fold 2 full review. Let's talk about it, the good, the bad, if there is any bad. Let's just start with price, 2,000 bucks, very premium, very high-end device, not for everybody. The good thing is when you do hold it, play with it, use it for a while, it does feel very premium, almost worth the $2,000 price tag. I feel like it is a little overpriced. 2,000 bucks is pushing it, but when you put it into perspective, iPad Pro, right? If you bought an iPad Pro and an iPhone 11 Pro Max right now, you're gonna spend a little more than 2,000 bucks. So in every sense of the word, this piece of tech here, I'm not gonna call it a phone because it is much more than that, but this piece of tech is a true phablet. So you might be able to get away with just using this for all of your needs, right? If you need an Apple Pencil or a stylus with your tablet, then this is not the route to go. But you can get a very good phone here and a very good tablet all in one for the same price you could a high-end tablet and a high-end phone. So just keep that in mind when you think about the price of this. It could replace multiple devices in your household and make life a little simpler for you as you move along. Now, some good and the bad. We'll talk about specs really quick. Snapdragon 865 Plus, and that goes for every model all over the world. No Exynos version on here, so that is good for everybody. 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage on here. Non-expandable storage, so a little surprising there. And again, no S Pen support. That is running the Adreno 650 GPU. 4,500 milliamp battery on here, and the battery life on here has been fantastic. Overall, I have never had to charge my phone, the Z Fold 2. I've never had to charge this thing up throughout the day. It's always lasted the whole day. I go to sleep at night, that's when I plug it in, and usually I have about 10-15% of juice left at that point. I take it off the charger around 5:30, 6 in the morning, and it lasts throughout the day, all day. Never an issue, and that is a little surprising considering 120 hertz, 7.6-inch display on the inside. And I guess for the most part, because when I'm at work, most of the time I am using the front display, so this is going to save on battery life. 6.2-inch display on the front running 60 hertz refresh rate. So you're gonna save battery life the more you use the front display. Now, one of the downsides, I wish the front display was a little wider. I wish it was more along the lines of the same width as the Note 20, right? I want to get that full phablet. I want the front to be basically using a regular sized phone. This is small when it comes to the width, but once you get used to it, it works fine, and you do get used to it. Now, my one gripe would be the keyboard on here. The keyboard is a little narrow for me because you can see it does go just about edge to edge, but there is a little bezel here on each side, very slim, but this is the best they can do with the size of the screen they have on the front. So it does take a little getting used to, and I do find myself making a lot of mistakes when I try texting on the front display. And for me, sometimes it's annoying because at my job every day, I'm on my feet, I'm working, everything is time sensitive. I like to just pull my phone out when I get a message, use it really quick. Sometimes I have to stop what I'm doing, open it up because I'm making a lot of mistakes on that front display. But other than that, the front display is perfectly fine. You can use it with one hand for the most part with no problems. Very good. 10 megapixel camera on the front here. Another 10 megapixel camera on the front here. And then of course your triple camera setup on the back. 3 lenses, all 12 megapixels, wide, ultra wide, and telephoto. And it takes great pics no matter what camera you are using. So 5 total cameras on here. So again, you're getting a lot of value here, even though you are paying a premium. Now, the inner display, it's amazing. 7.6-inch, 120 hertz display on here. And let me tell you, going through content on here is just fun. It's just a good experience. I mean, check out this, how fluid that is, right? And the size of this, it is a giant display on here, but you are going to use this pretty much with one hand and scroll with your other hand. Multitasking is another fantastic thing on here. Multitasking is very easy. You pull out the sidebar, you can set it up to whatever app or apps you want to pull out with just the touch of a button. You can change which one is on top and bottom. You can add a third app in here if you want and have 3 running at the same time. So multitasking on here is just, you can be very productive on here. Watching videos on YouTube on here is just a joy. And again, the 120 hertz refresh rate, it is just a joy to use. And look, this thing, this is what I want to use. Whenever I'm home, this thing is open and I am using the inner display. If I'm out and about, for the most part, I'm using this display. And it's just a lot of fun to use. It really just is a great experience. It's different than any experience I've ever had with a smartphone. Another cool thing is if I'm on Twitter or something and I'm just scrolling through and then something happens and I want to close it, it will open up Twitter on the front, and you set that up in settings and you can control what apps you can use that with. And overall, there's just so many things you can do with this phone. Another awesome feature on this phone is the fingerprint sensor in the power button. We forget that a lot of phones used to have this, and I never missed it until I started using it on here. And it just works. It's just, we want our tech to just work. We want to pick it up, we want it to work, and this works flawlessly every time. It just works. It opens up, closes really fast. Overall, very smooth. And that's what this thing gives us. Everything about this thing, it just works very smooth. From 120 hertz, even when you are using the front display at 60 hertz, it just works. It does what it's supposed to do, and it does it very well. Another thing that they did improve upon with the second iteration of the Fold is the hinge. Stainless steel hinge on here. Very premium, very solid. I am not worried in the least about debris, about dust getting into that hinge. I think they did a really good job making it as good as they could with the technology that they have available today. It's the best hinge on any folding phone today. Now, the one thing I don't like, it doesn't fold flush, right? You can still see that. You can see space in there. You can see the bottom of the table by looking through there when it closes. So in future versions of this, I am hoping that they can get that flat to kind of fold like the Microsoft Surface Duo. Now, one of the things that annoy me a little bit about this phone is the zoom factor. All the apps are really zoomed in, so you kind of lose the viewable content you can see when you open up an app. And I like being able to see more when I'm using an app. So if we look at the Note 20 Ultra on the right, you can see that I'm able to view much more content than I am on this phone because everything is so zoomed in. And it's the same with other apps on here. So not everything is optimized the way I would like it to be with this phone yet, and I'm hoping that improves. Now, one of the features on here is flex mode, and it's very cool, but again, it's not really optimized yet to be used with many apps. So for instance, when I'm in the camera app and I fold it over and I use it at this angle, flex mode comes on, and you can see I do have the viewfinder up here where I can look and see what I'm going to take a picture of, and down here you can scroll through whatever pictures or videos you already have, and then you control your camera settings all from over here. So again, multitasking in this mode is very cool, but it's only optimized to use for a few apps. So until we get the use of that on lots and lots of apps, it's kind of just a gimmick at this point. So improvements are needed as far as optimization goes with apps. But saying all that, I mean, that's pretty much the only problems I have with this. Between the optimization of the apps and some of the features on here like flex mode and the actual width of the front display. Again, I do want it to be a little wider to match a regular size phone because that's what I want. I want to have a regular size phone on here, and then when I open it, I want my tablet experience, and that's what I want in a true phablet. So that's pretty much it as far as the cons for me. Now, this seam in here, this crease from the hinge, it goes away. You're not going to notice it after a while. Now, you do feel it whenever you are using this and scrolling and touching it. You are going to feel it every single time. But for me personally, it doesn't bother me at all. Now, this thing is a fingerprint magnet, no doubt about it. I mean, fingerprints, there's no way to avoid it. Throw a case on it, throw a dbrand skin on it, because it is a fingerprint magnet. Front, back, the inside, doesn't matter. It's insane, all the fingerprints you're going to get on here. Now, I did take off the screen protector. I do have a video on taking off the screen protector on the front and the screen protector on the inside. I will leave that in the cards up above, so you can do it. And I do prefer the feeling of this without that rubbery screen protector that they have on the inside. And it doesn't void the warranty. It doesn't do anything like that. If you take it to Samsung, and they do recommend you have it done by them, they will remove it for you for free. So it does not void the warranty. For those of you that think it does not. You just have to be careful with your phone. It is very expensive and you do not want to ruin it. So I do suggest taking it to them. If you want to be brave and do it yourself, you can. And again, I do have a video on that. And it was very simple to do, honestly. So overall, look, this thing, is it for everybody? No. Is it fun to use? Hell yes. Is it a really good experience? Definitely. Is it worth 2,000 bucks? If there is any piece of tech right now that is worth that price tag, this is it. Or this is the closest piece of tech to that price point, because it's unique, it's different, it's a completely different experience than you're going to find anywhere else. It's fun to use. It's your true phablet, right? Your front display, your tablet display on the inside, 120 hertz, 7.6 inch, incredible battery life, fantastic pictures, very premium feeling. I'm not worried about this hinge going anytime soon. Maybe that will be different in a year or two, but there is no way to know. Overall, I'm just very impressed with what they did here. They took a risk. The first fold was a big risk. They learned from it. They improved upon it. And this is my favorite piece of tech to date. Now, can I recommend it? I think I can. If you have the money, I do recommend getting it, because it's just an amazing piece of technology. It just really is that simple. It's just a great piece of tech. Again, very expensive, very premium. I don't think it's for everybody. If it's going to hurt you at all, spending that type of money, don't do it, because there are plenty of other options out there. The Note 20 is a great phone and a great option. I just picked up the S20 Fan Edition. My SIM is actually in that phone right now because I'm testing it over the next week or two. And I love that phone for $699. Great phone. I can absolutely recommend that phone. So it's not for everybody, very premium, very expensive, but if you can't afford it, it's a great pickup, and it's the best piece of tech out right now in 2020. So it is what it is. The Fold 2, what I love, what I want to see improved upon in the future, my slight problems with it. And again, as a reviewer, I'm not going to sit here and say it's a perfect phone, because it does have issues, and these are all just my opinions. These are the issues I have with this piece of tech, right? I want the wider screen. I want S Pen support. I want the apps to be optimized so everything isn't so zoomed in. But other than that, it's an incredible piece of technology. So the Z Fold 2, guys, check it out. I'll drop the link below, you guys. If you're interested, go check it out. Go to Best Buy, play with it if you can. That's it for the video, guys. I'll be back soon. Peace.